think together with Lin, we are going to talk about retirement. So maybe Lin, you want to introduce yourself and share a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Hi, Lily. Good to see you again.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, hi everybody. For all of you who are watching, I'm Lin, the financial pharmacist who dispenses solutions related to finance in appropriate dosages for busy professionals. So I'm here together with Lily to actually start this series of Facebook Live on
Together with Lin,
correct.
We are going to talk about retirement.
So I'm here together with Lily to actually start this series of Facebook Live on. Can you hear me, Lily? Sorry.
Yes. I think there was some echo just now. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
So I think we are okay. The echo is gone now. So
Yeah, okay.
Do you need to introduce yourself?
I think it's okay because mine was.
It's okay, yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's okay. I think you just continue yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about these technical issues.
Yeah.
We are doing it first time using Zoom through Facebook. So hopefully you can pardon us. So maybe Lynn, you can continue with the intro.
Yes, right. So welcome everybody. This is our first session, as Lily has mentioned. And in our series, over the next 4 to 5 weeks, we hope to talk things related from retiring to retiree. And the reason why we choose this topic is because I think retirement is a very big concern, not just in Singapore, where we are based, but globally as well. And coming from where we are coming, I think we do have some experiences and some insights to share because we do observe friends, relatives, as well as people around me whom we interact with that are pre-retiring as well as, in the retired phase as well. In fact, Lily, some months ago, right, I think you have sort of like experienced a brief period of retired life. Am I right?
Yes, correct, Lynn. You're so correct. But before I share about my brief retirement period, maybe for those of you who are watching us now, if you're from Singapore, you may want to click the like button, or if you're from Malaysia, you may want to click the love button, and can even share with people whom you think may be able to benefit from our sharing. Okay, back to myself, right? Yes, you're right. I had a brief moment of retirement because actually I thought after I left the workforce, somewhere early this year, I'm going to retire for good. Yeah. So yes, but instead of really sitting down and relax, I don't know why I'm so busy. I think to me, I think I'm somebody who can't really sit still. So I was like very, very busy with personal things. They're doing a lot of learning. I'm surprised I learned so much during this short period of time. And I think it is good because I think as retirees, sometimes we think that, hey, there's nothing to life anymore. No, it's not true because there's a lot of things that we can actually do. For example, you can actually set up a routine and start a day. I mean, what I did is I started my day with short exercise, yeah, very simple exercise, not exert myself. Yeah, then you can actually do things that you like reading, cycling. Some may like swimming or walking. For me, I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of new skills during that period. And
yeah, I think you're right, Lily.
yes,
Retired life does not mean that people stop learning. In fact,
correct.
it's the lifelong learners that actually, lead a very much more fulfilled retired life than,
Yes.
somebody who has nothing to look forward to in their life, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's especially for me, right? I'm also into investment. So I also, start to other than, doing my usual stock option trading, right? I actually learned crypto option as well, and I do option trading, this and that. And then I also like watch a lot of live, Facebook live, this and that. I learned what is NFT, like non fungible token and what they are for. I think in life, it like the Chinese saying, right? 活到老学到老. I think it's very, very important that we continuously learn. Yeah. So I would say that during this short period of retirement, so-called retirement, right? I really, really gained a lot of knowledge. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear your sharing, Lili.
Thank
You
you.
really blow me away because to me, right, I will associate crypto, NFT space with, the younger generation. I mean, not that, I say that you are the older generation. No, I'm about the same generation as you, yeah. But it's just
Oh,
that
thank you. Thank you. I don't think you are of the same generation. You look much more younger than me.
it's just that, coming back to the crypto space, right? When we flip over the papers, right, we always, hear of the younger cohort of people. The mindset is such that, they are more into the crypto because they are more risk-taking kind of mindset. So, but I hear you that, learning is important, right? And you mentioned you also learn about investments. So maybe in your investments, just like me, when I teach people in my financial freedom course, I also tell them that it is better to learn to the basics and know what is it first before you get your feet wet in the actual investment itself. What do you think?
Oh, of course, certainly. For example, before I went into crypto option, right? I
Yeah.
had to pay to learn. Okay. I mean,
Ah,
sometimes because people would have walked that road already, they would know the pitfalls, this and that, right? So sometimes when you pay to learn, you actually cut short your learning process and you kind of like so-called skip that pitfall that your mentor or your coach would have gone through that. So that's the advantage of learning. Yeah. So I believe in paying to learn as well. Yeah. So I can actually cut short the learning process and straight away after learning, I straight away go in to do my crypto options, right? And trade. Yeah. And trade and actually start to make profit already.
yeah.
Yeah, but
I
that is a new skill that I learned during this period.
Yeah, but
Correct.
what you just mentioned, right? Just spark something that I recall. I just heard this phrase. I think it is mentioned by Tony Robbins, if I'm not wrong. I mean, Tony Robbins is a very famous figure, right? So I wouldn't need to introduce who he is. But basically, I think he has said something like, schools generally teach standard curriculum. And when you get being taught the standard curriculum, then you get standard results. So, to get out of that standard results, right? Generally, that's where you actually learn from people who has already go through that path, uh, uh, walk through the fire, so to speak, so that those people, the new teachers, so to speak, can actually teach the students
Yes.
how not to make the same mistakes. And
Correct.
in that sense, be able to accelerate,
Correct.
their learning
Correct.
journey as
Correct.
well.
It is true. And to me is that it's not just learning, yeah. When you learn something, it's just knowledge that's stuck in your head. Okay. And if you don't apply it, it's just knowledge there. And over time, it will just disappear because if you don't apply that knowledge. So knowledge, when you learn, you must actually apply it. Once you apply it, you practice it often, it will be yours and yours to keep. Yeah. So I always, when I was like, of course, now I'm back in the workforce. Yeah.
Mm.
Previously, when I was with my other team members, I always tell them when you have opportunity to learn, always learn. Okay. Because what you learn is yours to keep. Nobody can take away the knowledge that is in you. So, yeah. So, learning is really, really important. Yeah.
I totally
I
agree.
don't know why we can sidetrack into this and we're talking about retirement, but
because learning, we're saying that learning is one of the purpose of living a more fulfilled retired life.
yeah.
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 So in fact, before getting on this life with you, right, I was just thinking very often, right, in my course of work, as a financial advisor. So I'll also ask people, what is your ideal retirement age? Then when I ask myself this question, actually it's not only today, like I've been asking myself this question for so many years ago, you know, and always the answer that I give to myself, it's actually I didn't really want to retire, you know, fully in that sense. To me, retirement is more of like I don't have to spend time to worry about getting finances in. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I stop being active. I stop being socially engaged. Yeah, so I guess being active, socially engaged is something that, you know, personally for me myself, I want to continue to do it. So in that sense, there's no stopping age, so to speak.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because sometimes when you put a age to when you want to retire, I mean, you can achieve that, but is that what you really want? I think it'd be good if you can choose when you want to retire or when you want, even if you want to stay in workforce, but you can stay it because you want to be there and not because you have to be there. Yeah,
I agree.
correct. So that would be very, very important. You know, especially when we are talking about planning for retirement and working towards retirement. So planning and working towards the role of retirement, there's many, many prongs to approach it. And of course, today we're not sharing that. We're just talking about, you know, like healthy retirement, this and that. And rightfully, we said that for retirement, it's not just like exercising, eating healthy, you know, just doing things that you like reading this and that. But important is also sometimes, like I mentioned, to learn a new skills, this and that. Who knows? Sometimes this new skills may be helpful not just for you, but to your children or whoever, you know. That and when you learn new skill, like what I talked mentioned about learning what is a crypto, what is NFT, this and that, right? Um, I know, let's say if my children, they will talk about it. I think I can participate, you know. I will not be like, oh, what are you talking about? Huh? You know, kind of thing. So, I mean, you are really so-called being kept, you know, we keeping in time with what is happening to the world, which I think it's really, really important because doesn't mean that you retire, you're out of the world. No, you can choose to be active and be in the world by not, I mean, not necessarily working, yeah, but you know, be in the know of what's happening to technology. I think technology, I always believe that technology is really, really important in our lives and it changes a lot of things. In fact, like Facebook, when it changed to Meta, wow, I was like, wow, this is interesting, you know, because the future of the workplace may be different. How they're going to meet, it will be very, very different, be all virtual. So I think it's really fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, in fact, before metaverse comes, right now the workplace is already transforming. Yeah, I'm sure when you know, get out of your short stint of retired life and now in the workforce, right, you will know that compared to when you were first in full-time employment, the way of work is very different already.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
yeah,
certainly. Certainly.
now we're talking a lot about, you know, hybrid working practices whereby people go online and people also go offline in the physical office. So I guess, you know, at the end of the day, right, if we have the open mindset, so it really helps us all to walk that retirement path lah, or you know,
Yeah, correct, correct,
yeah,
correct.
because we won't know what's coming, right? But with
Certainly.
the correct mindset, yeah, then we should be able to sort of like adapt accordingly.
Correct, correct. Totally
So,
agree.
so it is good, you know, Lily, that you actually shared about the routine, the exercise, you know, that is important because I
Yeah.
guess that also sort of like help uh, all of us, me included, right, to be healthy and being mobile. Actually, I find mobility is something that is very important and it's very close to heart. So
Mm.
I guess but today I think now we are so fast all already close to 15 minutes. So
Wow, that's fast. Time
yeah, yeah.
flies, really flies. So yeah,
Yes, correct. But we have this Facebook Live session every Monday, 9 p.m.
correct. We plan
So
to
we
have
will
every
continue to
Monday.
share,
Yeah.
yeah, our views, and we hope to give very good nuggets, you know, to our listeners. And
Yeah.
as I mentioned, you know, that physical exercise bit is also important. And if you look deep down, right, into this vertical, there's lots of things that you can do actually.
Correct. I mean, I can maybe want to, I may add a bit is that, let's say if you're not talking about learning new skills, this and that, especially when, let's say you retire, right? I think it's really important to catch up on a relationship that you may have missed if you are working. For example, with catching up with friends and especially family members, spend more time with them. If you are, able to spend more time, traveling and spending time with them, I think that's really, really important. Or you have children, yeah, spend time with them because they may be working this and that. Sometimes they may not be able to find time to come and visit you. I mean, I'm a grandmother now. Okay, I'm not the traditional type of grandparents or a mother where I must insist my children can visit me. No, because I know that their life is just as hectic. Okay, so to me is that if I'm able, why don't I visit them? Why must they come over? Right. So it saves them time because having a baby, this and that, sometimes it's very difficult for them to move around. Yeah, even if you have a car, so what, right? So sometimes it's for us, it's always good to adopt a mindset that we cannot be so traditional in our thought that okay, as parents, I am the big so-called big, matriarch or whatever, that children have come and visit me, why don't just get out of the house? Because once you get out of the house, it's a form of exercise for you as well. Getting up to get the sun, isn't that? Why not? Yeah, to me, yeah. So it is
that's so nice.
Yeah,
that's so nice of you. But actually, for me, right, it's the other way around. I prefer to visit my mom rather than have her come over. She's mobile lah, but
Yeah.
it's just that I wanted to inculcate this habit in my children as well. So I will start my children off to tell them that there's no excuse not to visit granny every week, at least once a week. So
yeah, that one is good. True.
correct. And I actually preempted them by telling them that I give you this advance warning so that when your exams are here, please don't tell me you have exams and have no time to visit granny. So that's the only thing.
Once a week is fine, no problem. I mean, for example, besides my children, right? I also will visit my mom once a week, going to marketing for her, this and that. I think it's really important because for them, their age is pretty old, advanced in age. So don't expect them to move that much. Even though mobile may be difficult, especially with this COVID situation. I always want to balance things. Try not to expose them because for example, they have medical condition, may not be able to go for the inoculation, right? Yeah, then for the baby, so you cannot. So I try to,
So that's actually very good lah. But I also think that the current generation of retirees, the mindset is probably different from maybe my mom's generation, for example.
Correct.
So so it's good to probably hear more from us, the different people whom we observe, the different mindsets as well. And, we have the next session coming up next Monday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for next week we're going to share around I think what
how to keep healthy.
Okay, can.
Because you mentioned the routine, right, and the exercise and doing things you enjoy. So I think maybe we can delve a little bit deeper into that. Like what kind of
sure. Can. That's nice. I'm so glad to have this short chat with you, Lynn.
Yes, same here.
I hope everyone who is watching really enjoyed our short sharing. And see you all next week.
Yes, everybody, see you next week.
Thank
you again, Lily. Thank you. So let me just end this.